Good morning guys and welcome! Today we're gonna take a walk around an area which is super central, but for some reason people don't really visit when they're here. And it's actually located just behind, as you can see, the Stockholm City Hall, which is this house. And you have probably seen that place on, if you Google Stockholm, that's probably one of the most shown pictures on Google. And it's just actually next by, you can see Riddarholmen over here, and you have Södermalm in the far distance. And the city center and the central station is just behind, those buildings over here. So it's actually super close. So today I thought we were just gonna check it out, this place, and then we're gonna walk the direction over here. And this place is called Kungsholmen. And I don't really know why people don't come here. It's actually just as beautiful, and it has just as many restaurants and cafes as any other part of Stockholm actually. So today we're gonna see if we can find something interesting over here. And as you can see, first pit stop will be the City Hall. And you can see the first main tower over here. There is actually a grave underneath it. I don't really know who's there, but I know that I've been doing some renovation work and made a lot of the statues golden again, because they were looking pretty old. And I think there is an entrance here on the left side. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's over here. And there is also a restaurant in the house. And for you who don't know, the reason for this city hall, it's actually it's an office space basically for politicians that's working for Stockholm City. And there's also they having the Nobel after party actually, which is probably coming up now in a few days. I think the Nobel kind of dinner is on 10th of December, something like that. So I think we will be able to enter. Here is the entrance, by the way. It's a massive house, as you can see. And check it out here, you can see the stone carvings. I don't really know if this is the place actually. It looks like a church over here. And maybe this is the place, and here you had a windmill even, and a man on a horse. Yeah, but let's go in and check it out. There is of course guided tours over here, and it's actually a wedding. I've seen a lot of, if you're walking here during summertime, there is tons of people getting their wedding photos over here, because there is kind of nice environment. Check it out. You have a wedding couple over here taking some beautiful photos, and you have another beautiful couple over here. And here is from the inside, you can see the grand tower on this side, and this side is facing the water of course, so there is a little small park there. During summertime it's super busy, and I don't really know if this is the entrance if you want to do like the tour inside the city hall. But there's a lot of doors over here, and I don't really see any other one. Looks like they're having some kind of TV, or a lot of people coming here taking their wedding photos. I can even see another couple, or two other couples. They usually pay a lot of money for being able to take those professional photos, of course, or even do some movies sometimes, because it's a pretty cool environment here. And a lot of people here, they look very beautiful. Check it out. Yeah, we're not gonna disturb them. But even another wedding over there also. Wow, it's 5 or 6 of them. Anyway, this is the other side. And here you can see, looks pretty beautiful from this side also. And the grand tower is over here. And in the far distance you can see Riddarholmen and Södermalm. And the highest point that we were visiting the other day was over here. So the walk that we had was from in the far distance somewhere over here, all the way over here. And I think we actually gonna take walking this direction, I believe. Seems to be some kind of construction work going on, or if it's just because of the winter. I can see they're doing some work over here, so it's probably gonna be nice and beautiful when it's summertime again, because today it's super freezing actually, and I forgot my gloves, so this will be a tough one. I don't really know how cold it is though, I'm gonna check. It's probably around 0. It is as cold as, yeah, today 0 degrees, as you can see here. This is pretty common weather, I would say. I just have to show you, but check those windows out. And you can see on all the facade you have the summertime. Of course, this is all green. And in this area there's actually a few of the houses that have that greenery growing on the side of the building, which of course during summertime is super beautiful. And let's see which direction is the best. Let's walk this way. And here there is a promenade actually by the water, and there is a lot of beautiful boats here, and they are actually a lot of people living here all year around. You can see a lot of beautiful houses over here too, some of the older parts. And just for information, but this part of Kungsholmen is the closest one to the old town, which of course means that a lot of the oldest buildings on this island is the oldest, of course, and the closest one to the city. So you can just walk here to the city center in probably just a minute or two, if you just cross the bridge where we started the video. But check it out. Here are some of the boats. This is kind of the type of boats where they have, as you can see, all the way in the far distance there are boats. And you can walk this promenade actually all around the island. I'm not sure how far it is, so don't take my word for this, but it's probably around 10k, something like that. So it will probably take you 2 hours. I don't know, I'm just guessing now. I actually never walked around the island, but it's pretty beautiful. But the island looks actually very different depending on where on the island that you are staying or that you're walking around. So this part is the older parts. The other side are a lot more modern, I would say. But check this out. You have like a seating area on the boat. Like this one over here is a little bit bigger, and it just continues all the way down there. So that harbor is actually pretty big, I have to say. And there is only bigger boats. And if you're walking this promenade, you'll end up in the park. I think it's called williamseef or something park. So let's go in here. Wow, check it out. You have the mustard color, of course. But we have actually a next stop just on our right side here. And you can see Södermalm in the far distance. It's also a very beautiful island, I have to say. The building that we're gonna see right now, it was actually back in the days, was built in 1809, and it was supposed to be a workshop. But in 1850 the Swedish, I don't know how to say this in English, but there was like the Swedish government bought this place for the reason of producing coins and medallions and medals and stuff. And they were using it actually all the way until 1974, I believe. So the production of all the Swedish coins during that era was produced in actually the buildings over here, all the yellow ones. And on the corner of this yellow building there is a sign that's saying like something coin makery, like the royal coin something. I think actually it's called in Swedish the Kungliga myntet, something like that, which basically means the royal coin makery or something like that. So let's check it out. You can even see a small crown actually on the top over here. And if you want to check it out, it's located on Samuel Owensgata, or the other one over here, it's called Hantverkargatan. And here you can see Kungliga myntet is called. And inside nowadays it's just some companies, and you have like a kindergarten over here, but it's a pretty nice place actually. But it's not to be mistaken or for the other one, there is actually a coin museum, and it's in the same building as the Royal Palace. So if you're looking for that place, it's not this one, but this is where a lot of those coins were made. Check what I found. This place, it's called Strandbergs Mynt, and in Swedish, mynt is coin. And it says here, I just saw through the window, all these coins, probably in silver and gold, and you have some of the emblems and the medallions even, and maybe even some medals. You can even see some old stock papers from back in the days in Sweden. Actually, many years ago, when you were buying stocks and shares, you got like a paper certificate that kind of stated that you owned that stock. So you can see, and these are pretty rare nowadays, and people pay top dollars for just owning one of those papers, even though they have no value regarding that specific stock anymore. But these places are buying and selling silver coins and foreign coins, and it seems like they have a lot to offer, and probably they have a lot more expensive stuff in there if you want something extra. So, but let's continue. So this street is actually one of the most famous streets of this part of Stockholm. It's called Hantverkargatan, and you have, as you can see behind the trees over here, and it's called I think it's called Kungsholmskyrkan, which is like Kungsholmen church, and there is a graveyard just outside also. And I believe they started to build this place actually back in the 17th century, but they didn't have the fundings actually to finish the project. So it took somewhere up around 200 years to finish that church. But I never been into it, so I don't know if they were keeping the design as original as possible, or if they were like changing the drawings or the blueprints over time, as it was so long before it was finished. And just for information, but here you can see the tower. Looks pretty cool from here, just as beautiful as if you were looking from Riddarholmen or the city center. And here you have a closer view of the church. Check it out, looks pretty cool. I don't know if it's a graveyard all over here or if it's just in that corner, but you can see here it's Kungsholmens kyrka, which is kyrka is church in Swedish. I just have to mention, for people that are living here, this place is a very nice place, and it's for sure not cheap to buy a house or an apartment here. It's a very expensive area because of the location, and it's a lot more calmer than many of the other places. So if you just want kind of a city close place to stay, which is kind of walking distance to the city, this area is very good, I have to say. But it's still, I mean, a small, of course it depends also which part of the island, because this island is very big, and this part of the island probably pay for a average one-bedroom apartment somewhere around 450,000-500,000 US, something like that, I would guess. And on the other side of the island, depending on the view and of course all that, probably 20% less, I would guess. And here I have to show you, but this means like warning. And on these houses during winter time, when there is a lot of snow, there is an ice, there is falling snow and ice from the roofs just onto the pavement here where people are walking. So if you see one of those signs, you have to watch out, so there is not any ice falling from the sky. There is always a lot of people during winter time here, it's getting hurt. And another thing, just while we're passing by, but if you're in Stockholm and want a pizza, this Min och Mall place is for sure one of the best Napoli pizza places you will find. And there is not always a queue, but there is, yeah, I have to say it's probably one of the best pieces I've tried, even compared to Italy. What more do we find here? We have here, just for information, but here is a school, a high school. It's called Anna Whitelocks. And here it looks like some kind of gallery. Wow, check it out. It's a reindeer, looks like. Check this house out. There is one part of Stockholm that have like a whole area with this architecture that you can see on this house in that color. Wow, check this out. And this street down here is, according to me, one of the most beautiful streets actually. And it's facing the water also, so if you're living just as long as you can walk here before you fall into the water, that area is called Norrmälarstam, and they have a lot of beautiful apartments there facing the water. And there is kind of a alley and a park here in the middle, and as you can see, a lot of beautiful balconies and stuff. But next stop, I think we're gonna go here actually. You will see I don't know if this is the only place in Stockholm, but it's actually the courthouse. And in Sweden, the courthouse in Stockholm is located just next to the biggest police station. And I have to say that this courthouse is pretty beautiful. And the police station, it doesn't look that bad either. If you check this out, you can see the main tower, and it's a massive building. But as you can see, the architecture on the houses over here is very similar to other parts of the central Stockholm that is a lot more visited than this side actually. This is the police house, and it's a pretty cool house. You can see the tower in the middle, and over here they have, I don't know if it's called like where people sitting and waiting for their like, let's say they have a time in a week that they're gonna be up against the judge. In this place they sitting in here waiting until that time comes. So this is kind of, yeah, the entrance. They're doing probably some gardening work at the moment, but you get the point. Looks pretty impressive. This is actually just one side of the building, so on the other side it's a lot more modern. So I believe that they have extended the house over the years, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, so this is a Swedish fire station. Check it out. Looks pretty cool, right? It's actually a brick building, and you have all the entrance doors to the fire trucks over here. And this one is called Kungsholmen's, yeah, fire station, I believe. And even during summertime, you can see they have the greenery growing on the wall there. I just wanted to show you, but here is one of those houses where you have the greenery on all the facade, and you actually plant the roots are coming down here, and there are kind of small, I don't know if it comes through on camera, but you can see here kind of attached all over the wall, those small dots over there. And of course during summertime this facade is all green, and even the balcony over here is all green. You cannot see in there. So all along the house over here you see those plants coming up and grow. I mean, some houses are all covered all the way to the roof. And here, just for information, but this is a new production city center Stockholm kind of complex. Now this is architecture that is very popular nowadays. And you can see for one of the apartments here, you have a balcony that is all the way around the house. But kind of the colors on this house and the choice of material is very, very modern, or very 2020 in Sweden. All right, so now we ended up next to a park. This one in particular is called Kronobergsparken, which is actually during summertime, according to me, one of the most beautiful ones. And it's kind of located on a hill, as you can see up here. And the neighborhood that surrounds the park is a very nice one. You kind of live in the city center, but you still get the feeling of being in the nature, I would say. And there's actually a small, check it out, a small cemetery here, even in the park. Don't really know who's or what kind of people that's buried here, but it looks very old. And the surrounding houses down here, there is a street which are one of the more busy ones, and if you're gonna do some shopping in this part of Stockholm, that's probably where you're gonna end up. But the houses surrounding this park, we actually can cross it maybe, but check it out, and you see all the balconies facing the park, even on this building over here, and you have some corner balconies over here. So let's walk this direction. I think we can cross the park, and I think the police house is on the other side. But yeah, you can imagine during summertime, when of course it's a lot of more greenery and there is a lot of green space for people to have their picnics and stuff. This yellow house is also a nice one. And the other side of Kungsholmen is this direction, so it's not like 100% accurate, but the longer you walk that direction, the more modern of Kungsholmen you will get. And it's actually a lot more greener over there too. The density of houses is not as much, so if you want, like during summertime, hang out along the water or spend some time swimming, you have a place called Little Miami over there, which is crowded to say the least during the hot days. So if people living in the city don't want to like have a long drive to reach a lake or something to swim in, that's one of the most common places to end up, I have to say. So here is also another, you can see in the far distance over here, I believe that's Vasa, which is another very beautiful area, and I think we're gonna cover that for sure in another video. But I believe that's gonna be it for today, guys. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao ciao.